Hello, friends. Mrs. Taima here. Welcome to part one of your reading lesson today. Today is an exciting day because we are starting a new book, and it's a really good one, and I cannot wait for you to read it. In part one, with Mrs. Spears, you are going to read our new book, which is called The Boy Who Harnessed the Wind. Then in part two, we'll come back and take a look at our assignment for today. But first, sit back and enjoy your story with Miss Spears.
Hello, friends, and welcome back to Wit and Wisdom in Sync. My name is Tanisha Spears, and I'm excited to jump into our lesson. But before we do, let's make sure you have your materials ready. For this lesson, you will need your Wit and Wisdom in Sync journal and a pencil. Pause the video now if you need to gather your materials. In previous work, you had an opportunity to reflect on the knowledge you gained and the skills that you learned while reading the text, Brave Irene. Today, we will begin a new text, and the text we're going to read is The Boy Who Harnessed the Wind. While I'm reading today, you'll be making observations on what you notice, as well as thinking about questions that you have. Now, before we get into the book, let's take a moment to review the big question or the essential question that we've been building knowledge throughout the module to answer. And that question is, how do people respond to the powerful force of the wind? Today, you will listen to a new text about a boy named William who uses the wind in an unusual way. And you will also have a new focusing question to help you explore this text. The focusing question for this text is, how does William use the powerful force of the wind? Okay, so let's get ready to get into the new text. Now, the question that will frame our learning with the text, The Boy Who Harnessed the Wind, is, what do I notice and wonder about this text? As I am reading, I want you to listen for a new idea about the wind. Are you ready? Let's get into the text. The Boy Who Harnessed the Wind. In a small village in Malawi, where people had no money for lights, nightfall came quickly and hurried poor farmers to bed. But for William, the darkness was best for dreaming. He dreamed of building things and taking them apart, like the trucks with bottle cap wheels parked under his bed, and pieces of radios that he'd crack open and wonder, if I can hear the music, then where is the band? His grandpa's tales of magic also whispered in the pitch black of his room. Witch planes passed through the window while ghost dancers twirled around the room, as if 100 men were inside their bodies. At dawn in the fields, William scanned the maze rows for magical beings, then wondered as a truck rumbled past. How does its engine make it go? Pay attention where you throw that hoe, his father shouted. You'll cut off your foot. For all its power over dancers and flying things, magic could not bring the rain. Without water, the sun rose angry each morning and scorched the fields, turning the maize into dust. Without food, Malawi began to starve. Soon William's father gathered the children and said, from now on, we eat only one meal per day. Make it last. In the evenings, they sat around the lantern and ate their handful, watching hungry people pass like spirits along the roads. Money also disappeared with the rain. Pepani, his father said, I am sorry. You will have to drop out of school. Now, William stood on the road and watched the lucky students pass, alone with the monster in his belly and the lump in his throat. For weeks he sulked under the mango tree, until he remembered the library down the road, a gift from the Americans. He found science books filled with brilliant pictures. With his English dictionary close by, William put together how engines moved those big trucks, and how radios pulled their music from the sky. But the greatest picture of all was a machine taller than the tallest tree, with blades like a fan. A giant pinwheel? Something to catch magic? Slowly, he built the sentence. Windmills can produce electricity and pump water. He closed his eyes and saw a windmill outside his home, pulling electricity from the breeze and bringing light to the dark valley. He saw the machine drawing cool water from the ground, sending it gushing through the thirsty fields, turning the maize tall and green, even when farmers' prayers for rain went unanswered. This windmill was more than a machine. It was a weapon to fight hunger. Mujesti Amufepo, he whispered. I will build electric wind. In the junkyard, pieces appeared like rusted treasures in the tall grass. A tractor fan, some pipe, and bearings and bolts that required every muscle to remove. Tonga, he'd shout to the birds and spiders, holding up his prize. But as William dragged his metals home, people called out, This boy is Masala. Only crazy people play with trash. After many weeks, William arranged his pieces in the dirt. A broken bicycle, rusted bottle caps, and plastic pipe. Even a small generator that powered a headlight on a bike. For 3 days, he bolted, banged, and tinkered while chickens squawked and dogs barked, and neighbors shook their heads saying, What's Misala doing now? His cousin Jeffrey and best friend Gilbert soon appeared. Muli, Bwanji, they greeted. Can we help with electric wind? Grab your pingas and follow me, he said, and took them into the forest. Together, they swung their sharp blades into the trunks of blue gum trees, then hammered them together to make the tower. Standing atop, William shouted, Bring it up! While the boys tugged and heaved. A crowd gathered below and gazed at this strange machine that now leaned and wobbled like a clumsy giraffe. Some giggled, others teased, but William waited for the wind. Like always, it came, first a breeze, then a gusting gale. The tower swayed and the blades spun round. With sore hands, once slowed by hunger and darkness, William connected wires to a small bulb, which flickered at first, then surged as bright as the sun. Tonga, he shouted, I have made electric wind. Wachita bueno, a man yelled, Well done. As the doubters clapped and cheered, William knew he had just begun. Light could not fill empty bellies, but another windmill could soak the dry ground, creating food where once there was none. Majesti Amtepo, electric wind can feed my country, William thought. All right, friends, if you need to, pause the video to stretch or take a quick break. When you're done, unpause the video.